I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a vile one. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, 'cause you're watching Vile Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a vile one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, 'cause you're watching Vile Mike and his real wild child.
Howdy folks, it's Vile Mike here, and with me of course is my uber powerful yet childish progeny, Caddy Knight.
What up, peoples? And I hate that word.
Which word?
Uber.
Why?
Just sounds bad.
Well fine, take a lift. This week we watched the Squire of Gothos, and we start off with the Enterprise, once again delivering supplies. I thought this was an exploration ship, but apparently it's not. This is the second episode in a row where they started with the Enterprise pulling double duty as a cargo ship. Lame.
As they are traveling through what Spock is calling a desert, but
in space.
And then they find a strange rogue planet, when Sulu suddenly vanishes. But somehow, like Spider-Man, he knows something's up before it happens.
I don't feel so good.
Kirk also disappears, and Spock is shocked.
Well, as much as a Vulcan can be.
Cue credits.
After the credits, we have Spock in command, giving an exposition log. I thought that was Kirk's thing. Then we find the crew now in orbit around the strange planet, still frying. Just realized that would have been still frying Kirk and Sulu. Then we find the crew now in orbit around the strange planet, still trying to find Kirk and Sulu.
This guy who's called Dr. Yeager...
I'm sorry, that says Jaeger? I don't care. My brain went, Jaeger! Attack on Titan thing.
This guy who's called Dr. Yeager gives a report on the planet. Originally, I was going to make a joke about how he says there's no soil on the planet, but technically he's right. Soil usually contains dirt and organic materials, and he says there's no vegetation, so no organic materials. So he seems to know his stuff just a little, until Spock asks him this.
Estimate survival time of 2 unprotected individuals down there.
Not very long.
Not very long?
So like 30 seconds, 20 minutes, 4 hours, a couple of days? What the hell does he mean?
Ahura chimes in, because they're getting a message. Greetings and felicitations. And nope, I can't say that word right. You made me say that for the outtakes, didn't you?
I have no idea what you mean.
Well, Spock sends a response and gets a hip hip hoorah and a talio and
McCoy assumes that the message means that life has to be there, but doesn't he realize that it could be an automated message meant to troll people that find the planet?
Well, Spock orders an away team, and they beam down wearing COVID-19 masks. But once they are down there, it turns out they don't need them, because the planet without vegetation seems to have trees and stuff.
The communicators aren't working, and neither is the, egg with an antenna on it. They look around and find...
Dun dun dun!
A medieval castle set! Ooh. Inside the castle is a bunch of stuff the prop master just stuck there to mess with them, including McCoy's old girlfriend, which for some reason he doesn't comment on. Oh, and they find Kirk and Sulu in a Madame Tussauds display. McCoy scans them, but he's getting no readings. Then, this guy shows up, playing the harpsichord.
This is General Shalane of the planet Gothos.
Retired.
He abducted Kirk and Sulu because he has been watching Earth and is cosplaying as a human. Sorry, human.
This kind of leads into a bit of weirdness, as they say the rogue planet is about 900 light years from Earth, and he's using what amounts to a fancy telescope to watch Earth. But he's referencing stuff from the 18th century, and that implies that the original series takes place in the 27th century if you factor in the speed of light. Now, We can assume that Trelane is using something like a telescope, but it's not exactly a telescope, so maybe it gets around that, but it's still kind of bad science.
Trelane seems to be quite interested in the military stuff from Earth's past. Wars, battles, conquests.
It's kind of interesting to note here that in response to Trelane's assumption that humans are still out to conquer, Kirk says this.
I want to know all about your campaigns, your battles, your missions of conquest.
Our missions are peaceful, not for conquest. When we do battle, it is only because we have no choice.
This sentiment of Kirk actually seems to become more true in Star Trek The Next Generation.
Then, this guy attempts to sneakily stun Trelane while Trelane is looking in a mirror. You know, that thing that shows a reflection of what's in front of it? At least the idiot gets frozen and not just killed.
Trelane takes the phaser and kind of studies it. Then he indiscriminately starts vaporizing random props from earlier episodes. I have a funny feeling this is how Caddy would use a phaser if she actually had one.
Excuse you? I could solve so many problems if I had a phaser. If my soup is cold, phaser. If my phone's battery died, phaser. My teacher gives me an F on the quiz.
No killing your teachers!
No. I would just destroy the paper before you could see it.
Well, that's not as bad.
And maybe stun the teacher.
What?
Nothing. Well, Kirk is not having any of this nonsense. Thank you, Kirk. And says they're leaving. So Trelane teleports him somewhere on the planet's surface where he can hardly breathe.
When Trelane transports him back, he says that they need to behave or he'll get mad. Cue commercial break.
This channel is sponsored by SD GameSwap. If you're into nerd stuff, you might find something you like there. They have books, movies, video games, toys and collectibles, and they even do consignment. They are also on Facebook, so go buy something. Links in the description.
Avoid super battle droids, but not the super dealers at SD GameSwap.
When we get back from commercial break, we get another exposition log from Spock. They have no contact with the away team, but can detect that they are in the Earth-like area. Spock plans to beam up all the detectable life forms that when they can pinpoint them.
Back on the planet, Trelane shows off his flags.
Welcome to the premiere episode of Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags.
Then goes back to playing his harpsichord. Kirk, McCoy, and Sulu talk for a bit when Yeager points out that the fire in the castle actually doesn't produce any heat. Now this shows them that Trelane is powerful, that he can create these things, but it does show that he makes mistakes.
Kirk and Trelane have a little chat about not letting them go, and then Trelane gets excited when Kirk mentions that they have women aboard the ship. Gross. When McCoy gets the transporter signal, they beam them up.
Once on board and after heading to the bridge, Kirk orders them to go to warp. But then Trelane appears on the bridge and just teleports them all back to Gothos anyway. But this time he brings with him Spock, Uhura, and Yeoman, not Rand.
After some kind of racist remarks about Uhura and a jab at Spock's half-human status, he forces the Yeoman to dance with him, and Uhura to play music for them to dance.
The power trio has a conversation about what they can do, with a very distracting alligator with whiskers and pig ears in the background. Whatever. Kirk surmises that Trelane must have some sort of machine that allows him to do what he can do.
Trelane stops dancing for a second to change the Yeoman's uniform into a dress, so she's basically Yeoman Princess Mark II.
The power trio, well, mostly Kirk and Spock at this point, realize that there's something up with that mirror that Trelane always stays near. So Kirk comes up with a cunning plan. He starts by insulting Trelane and then slapping him with the Yeoman Princess's glove, thus challenging him to a duel.
Trelane gets excited by this and grabs the case with some old pistols in it. He says that they are an exact match to the set that killed Alexander Hamilton.
Oh shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10 commandments.
I'm gonna cut you off there before you get a copyright strike or a content ID glitch. Now, Trelane takes one of the pistols and points it at Kirk. Cue another commercial break.
When we return, Kirk is giving the captain's internal monologue.
Oh, you mean the thing where he does the whole captain's log in the present tense when there's no feasible way for him to record it? The captain's internal monologue. I actually like that. Did you come up with that yourself?
No, you did. You just wrote that into the script.
Stop being meta.
Stop writing it into the script.
Anyways, Trelane starts the duel. Because he's a brat and says he can change the rules if he wants to, he demands the first shot. For some reason, Kirk agrees, and then Trelane points the gun at Spock.
Well, it's not like Kirk will just let him kill best character.
Trelane, however, doesn't actually shoot Kirk or Spock. He just shoots up, and is allowing Kirk to have a free shot at him.
Okay, Kirk. You once took out a knight with a police revolver. You can take out a squire with a flintlock. But Kirk does not shoot at Trelane. Instead, he shoots the mirror. And the machine behind it goes haywire, complete with loony sound effects.
Trelane is pissed and tells Kirk he will die, then just disappears. Kirk orders another beam up, and they flee as fast as possible.
Well, they try to, but the planet just keeps getting in their way, appearing in front of them whenever they turn.
Kirk decides to beam down alone, so he can deal with Trelane once and for all. Except this time he's dressed as a judge, holding Kirk on trial for some seriously stupid trumped-up charges.
Kirk demands that any punishment be on him and not the entire crew of the Enterprise. And Trelane sentences him to death by hanging.
Trelane is giddy about it too. Not just the killing, about actually experiencing anger. Like it's a foreign emotion to him. But he's kind of dejected by how easy it is for him just to kill Kirk.
So Kirk offers him a chance at LARPing the most dangerous game. And hunting Kirk.
And Trelane agrees. He transports Kirk outside and Kirk tries to contact the Enterprise to tell them to leave. But the Squire of Gothos attacks. Kirk runs away and eventually disarms Trelane, but he's unable to actually strike him because, powers.
Finally, Trelane makes a cage and tells Kirk he will have to play the same game with the rest of his crew. I think this is where Kirk goes a little nuts. He just breaks Trelane's sword and fucking bitch slaps him! Go, Kirk!
Like the brat he is, Trelane accuses Kirk of cheating just because he won, and then Trelane's parents show up.
What the hell?
Yeah, he wasn't just a brat, he was a bratty child all this time. Not like I deal with anything like that.
So basically, it's the same Ex Machina from Charlie X.
Pretty much.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and Kirk just beams up, and after a conversation with Spock, the episode ends. So what'd you think?
Show allowed me to reference Hamilton. It good. I am pleased by very small things.
I gotta have a soft spot for Trelane, just because his actor just eating the scenery without giving a damn the entire episode just makes him a very enjoyable character to watch. I wouldn't want to actually deal with him in real life, but he's a fun person to watch.
You know what? I honestly do like Trelane too. He does whatever he wants. He has the power to do it. He loves phasers. Same. He loves cosplay. And Hamilton. I identify with him.
I don't think anyone watching this episode is surprised. People who watch this episode and who are fans of Star Trek The Next Generation will definitely see some similarities between Trelane and Q, John Delancey's character. And some people have actually theorized that Trelane was actually a member of the Q. In fact, even one of my favorite Star Trek authors, Peter David, wrote a book about the whole thing. It's the small things that make these episodes a little bit harder to watch. The fact that the episode starts off with the Enterprise in what amounts to a space desert. That concept itself should have been explored and not just been a throwaway line. The fact that they encounter a rogue planet could have been something interesting to discuss, but they never do. It just seems like they start off with some good ideas, but they just end up being missed opportunities. Also, Trelane's speech about Uhura being a Nubian princess and stuff.
Lieutenant Uhura of Communications.
Ah, a Nubian prize. Taken on one of your raids of conquest, no doubt, Captain?
Yeah, May is definitely the show showing its age, because I doubt you could really get away with saying something like that in a modern TV show.
No. Bad.
Alright, that's it for this episode, folkses. We'll see you next week when we watch Arena.
Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye!
Later, folkses.
Greetings and... nope, not saying that.
Felicitations. Come on. Felicitations.
Felicitations? Greeting... Nope. I can't even say greeting now. I can't even say greeting now. Greetings and felicitations. And nope, I can't say that word right. That's all you're getting from me. You made me say that for the outtakes, didn't you?
I have no idea what you mean.
I know you paused, so I took my...
Because there's an ellipse. The ellipse indicates
Shut up!
pause.
Shut up! I'm supposed to ad-lib here, and I really don't know what to say, so This whole episode has me being meta. He adopted Kirk.
Abducted.
I fuck up saying things again.